economic nationalism that took the entire Republican Party by surprise. When I talk about California, I think we all realize it's two states, Mississippi and Massachusetts, in the same geographical region, and it's a schizophrenia. I live in the nexus between Tulare, Kings, and Fresno counties. The per capita income of my hometown is $16,000. Average educational level is 1 year of high school, and I get and the price per square foot of a home is about $120 a square foot. 3 hours later, I go to the Stanford campus. The per capita income is about $120,000. The square footage is about $1,000 a square foot, and it's like going from Mars to Venus. It doesn't seem like it's in the same state. So what I thought I'd do to make sense of this disconnect that we're all facing, we can leave the Luke's Hotel after all and go 10 miles and it looks like we're in a different country, is try to play the role of an empirical doctor where you look at symptoms, you come up with a diagnosis, you suggest a therapy or regimen, and then you offer a prognosis. The symptoms are very baffling though, because they're contradictory. On the one hand, with this new gasoline tax and our sales tax increases a few years ago, and our income tax on top brackets up to 13.3, we now have the highest combined tax basket of almost any state, I think, except Connecticut and Hawaii. We're getting record revenues, but we're projected to run $1.3 billion deficit this year. On the one hand, California is praised because the energy consumption per person has gone to all-time lows, and the percentage of so-called green renewable energy is at all-time highs, yet the price per kilowatt is up to 15 cents and climbing and projected to be 30 cents pretty soon, precisely because so many people are going into solar power that the infrastructure overhead is being almost unbearable for those like me who haven't gone green yet. So when you think of California, there's a disconnect with all of that revenue coming in and all of those high taxes. What gets people angry is not paying for it, but being insulted to pay for it as you get very little in return. Now, what do I mean by that? Forbes magazine rated California infrastructure 49th in the country. This is the state that invented the cloverleaf and the freeway system. When I was 12 years old, going to Disneyland was about a 3-hour proposition on the new 99 freeway, 2 lanes, no cross. It hasn't changed a bit. The state's gone from 16 million to 40 million. Part of Jerry Brown's first and second terms, third terms, and fourth terms, that the idea if you don't build it, they won't come. If you don't improve the freeways, people will stay off. So when we came up this morning from Los Angeles, we said to ourselves, what wreck are we going to encounter? What mattress will be in the right lane? What shovel will be in the left lane? What trucker will be texting? And what person will be going in the opposite direction? And it's not, I've been hit twice by people who left the scene of the accident. We were at Pepperdine not long ago, gotten almost a near head-on at night. So driving on the California freeways is something that's dangerous, even though we're going to have the highest gas taxes. We already have high gas taxes, and we pay the most. We're going to have the costliest fuel when you factor in our formulas and the taxes together, and yet we get very little return for it. For these taxes, what about our schools? They rate 46th on 8th grade test scores. 46th. We have 77 billionaires in California, and the richest counties in the United States, the top 10, I think 5 of them are in California, and yet 1/3 of all welfare recipients, even though the state only makes up 12% of the federal population, 1/3 live in California. 22%, 1 out of 5 people in California live below the poverty line. It's like La Jolla to Berkeley, 13, 15 miles inland is one state, and everything else is the other. 1/3 of all Californians who were admitted to the hospital for any cause whatsoever upon routine testing are found out to be suffering from diabetes. In my little small town, we have now 2 federal and state clinics for dialysis. And if you go by there, people are in their 30s, they're not in their 60s. It's an epidemic that no one talks about. 1/4 of all Californians were not born in the United States. That seems to be an enormous challenge. It could be an enormous advantage, but not if you do not believe in the melting pot of integration, assimilation, and integration, but you believe in the salad bowl, hyphenated, accented separatism. So, with all this money, and all this revenue, and all this talent, we get very little for it.